everybody, it is Liz with Liz Art Finds, and today we are going to go over haul number 38. Some really cool glass, some really cool other stuff, and it's kind of a small haul. I wanted to split things up a little bit. So this stuff I found when I went up to Rhode Island. This was the first part of my vacation. I had gone to a conference, and then I went to a Savers, and I went to an antique mall, and I went to another Saver, different Savers. And that's what this haul is going to be today. Before we do that, I want to go over some solds because I think I forgot last week. So I had some big solds this week and some solds last week, and I want to go through them both. So I don't know if I did this last week, but on the 28th, I did a Christmas sale over on Niknax, and I sold 5 things. The coolest one was the Peggy Carr Silent Night plate because that's really rare. I didn't make a ton of money because on the buy side, I had an oopsie on this piece, one of those two. I had found one of these beautiful candlesticks, and I was looking for another one, and I found someone selling one on eBay for $14, and I'm like, oh cool, I'll buy that for $14. I'll sell it with the other one for more than that. We're good. I forgot about shipping. So shipping was another $10 and change. Like, it was a lot. So I paid like 24 and change into this one, and I only had like $1.99 into this one. So because of that, my profit on this sale was not huge. So my total cost of goods was $36.25 when it should have been around $14. So big oopsie on the buy side. I probably would have been better off just selling the single candle holder. But anyway, these are the things that sold. My total sales were $84.57. But because of the high cost of goods, my profit on this sale was about $50. It was $48.32. And that's after all the fees and the shipping and all the things. So that was a fun little sale. This past week, and that was on Niknax, this past week I had 2 sales on eBay, and then I had another show on Niknax. So my eBay sales, this was my big one, the Styx mirror. I don't know if you guys remember, I shared this with you guys when I found it. I bought it for $3.99, and this is Styx by Sarah Grant. I sold it for $125. I had it listed around $180 something. I took a best offer of $125. My profit on this baby was over $100, like $105 after fees and stuff. So super exciting on that one. I also sold a Lily Pulitzer cap. I had bought that for $3.99. It sold for $30. So I didn't calculate my profit on here. I'll have it over on my Facebook. I'll have it all listed out what the total profit was for all the sales. But still, $3.99 into $30, can't complain about that. And then I had a little sale while I was up in Rhode Island, the Christmas one I did from New Hampshire. So anywho, I sold all these things the other night, but pretty low. Like, I didn't have a lot of bidding going on. So these things that sold, they sold at my starting price, which I try to do like 50% of retail, like what I would sell it for on eBay. I try to mark it down like 50% when I sell them. So I still had some great sales. And of course I wrote my notes upside down on this. My cost of goods on this sale was only $15.68. My total sold was around $60. So after fees and whatnot, my profit on this was right around $45, which, you know, was a half-hour show. It was good to move some things. I mean, this pig art, I love this piece, but I've had it up on eBay for probably a year and a half. So I was very happy to move that on to someone else who could appreciate it or resell it. It was fun. I had that Artesania Rinconada bowl, which I also sold. So it was a fun little sale. So yeah, it was a really good week, and I'll have, or 2 weeks or whatever, the totals for that will be over on my, on the Liz Art Finds Facebook later today. So let's get into this week's haul. This was a weird one in that, like, so many different things in so many different categories. Well, it's a small haul, so it's not so many things. But let's get started with a couple of kits. Now, I had a Christmas show, as I just showed you, and so at the beginning, when I was doing this sourcing, I was still looking for Christmas things. So I found these two. I'm going to show you both of them. They're like folding display, Santa, reindeer, and whatnot. And this one had, oops, Santa and Mrs. Claus and a couple of reindeer. And I found them for, I think, like, it's $2.79. Is that right? No, $2.39 because I had a discount. So they were each $2.39. And they're cute, right? So what I found was they were basically craft kits. Okay, so somebody has an actual old new stock or new old stock of this same exact one with the elf and the reindeer and the gifts. And you can see that it comes as wood that had the outlines on it. And you could basically paint your own and make your own decor. So I thought that was really cool. What I loved about these, because there were a bunch of them on the shelf, like lots of different ones, all painted every which way. Probably a family that got them together and each person did their own. And these were probably moms, because what I loved, whoops, let me show you the other one first. What I loved about these, this is the same one that was in the kit that I just showed, is this person embellished. So they put a little cotton ball at the bottom of Santa's hat. And they put a little cotton ball over here. At the bottom of the other hat. I'm like, what is that? So that was really cute. And then there's glitter on Rudolph's nose. So it was just really fun with the embellishment. And then the same on this one, they put a little lace, excuse me, at the bottom of Mrs. Claus's dress and glitter. You can see the little shiny stuff. So I just thought those were really fun. I paid $2.39 for them. They are listed currently on Niknax for $12. They did not sell in my sale, and I just went ahead. I believe they're still listed for $12. I can double check that. $12 each. So if you want those, they are actually up right now. The other one that was really interesting, now this is also from Savers, is this beaded flag. Okay, now I'm gonna put this a little closer so you guys can see this. This is woven beaded, right? And again, when I was a kid, I remember having these craft type things, right? So I looked that up and I found this instruction kit, or instructions that came with beading kits and whatnot, that basically you would get the mat, you would get like, or pattern, and you would get the cord and you would get the little hanger thingy, and instructions, and it would just basically teach you how to weave this particular thing. And there were all different patterns that you could get, and this is the flag one. So I paid, how much did I pay for my flag? I paid $3.59 for the flag. They're all over the place because everybody crafts differently, right? And so some of them, the little thing going through here, mine is bent a little bit. You can see that. So others are a little more sturdy. Prices are, I would say, $12 to $25. There's one actually listed on Etsy right now for $45. I think I'll probably list this around 18, maybe. See what happens. Maybe a little bit higher and take offers. We'll see. Not sure yet. But anyway, that's kind of cool. I also found, and this is at the Savers, the first trip, I also found another Peggy Carr. We all know how much I love my Peggy Carr. So this bowl is gorgeous. It is butterflies and flowers. And I paid $7.99 for it. Okay, you can see that it's a bowl shape. I haven't measured it. Well, actually, I guess I could. Hang on. It is, oh, it's a big one. It's like 13 inches. So the ones that I priced, that I comped against, were the 11-inch size, and they sold around 30 to 35. Because this is a little bit bigger, it may go a little bit higher. But it is just a stunning piece, and there's very few bubbles in this one. So anyway, love that. Picked that up for $7.99. Also at that Savers, there were a couple gourds. And gourds, they're basically a Peruvian thing. I'm going to show you this one first. It's a storytelling gourd. You've seen me pick up different ones before. This one basically is very, very intricate detail. At the top, there's birds. You can see birds in the trees. Try to back off so it focuses, right? And then there's just some design. And then down here, super intricate. And these were done to commemorate different events and celebrations and whatnot. And it tells a story. So I printed something out here. It actually shows, you know, very similar to what is on mine. It says gourd storytelling in Peru. Storytelling through gourd carving has a long history. Archaeologists found a gourd depicting deities over 4,000 years old. For centuries, carvers have been serving their communities by recording special events such as religious celebrations, weddings, and other traditions with intricate details. So basically that's kind of what I said. So it says also they recorded myths. So it may not have been an actual celebration happening in real time. It may have been a story that they want to pass down through their children and through their families. So yeah, so that's this one, and I paid $2.79 for this one. The prices online, when you look at WorthPoint, they're all over the place. You see things you see things sold for like $7, and then you see things sold for $70, and they look the same. So there's just, I think it depends on who's buying that day. So this one is a little bit small. I'm probably going to list this one on eBay around $45 and see if we get offers on it. But it's just gorgeous, and it took so, I mean, just look at how much work is in there and how much detail, right? So it's just amazing. And it's sad when I see them in the thrift stores. And honestly, you know, I saw something very alarming at Savers last week when I was there, just a few days ago, actually. I kept hearing breaking glass, and what they were doing is they were clearing vases out of the vase section, and it was just a giant trash thing, and they were just throwing them in. And I hadn't had a chance to look at that section yet, so I have no idea if they were throwing away just, you know, like Teleflora cheap vases, or if they were throwing away like Italian art, you know. So hopefully they're not wasting really valuable stuff, but that was a little sad. So I'm always happy to rescue things from places like that. So anyway, this was another gourd that was there, and this one is a little bit different. So this isn't a storytelling gourd. This is more of a gourd art piece. And this is, it's got birds and it's got flowers, and it's just beautifully, beautifully done. So it's just a decor piece, and I paid the same. I paid $2.79 for it. I don't think these sell quite as high as the storytelling gourds, so I've seen sold 12 to 35 on it. Not sure where I'll list that exactly, maybe 35 and take offers. We'll see. We'll see when I get a chance to list it. I'm thinking the listings from August through November will be for the holiday selling season. So you can list a little bit higher. People might be willing to pay a little more if they're getting things for gifts and whatnot. The other thing I found at that particular Savers was a Ray Dunn mug. The reason I picked this up, number one, it's new with tags. It says adventure is out there, but it's also got the up thing on it, and it was a collab with Pixar. Okay. So these are selling, most of them are selling right around 18. There's some a little higher, some a little lower. I paid $4.79 for it. So after fees and whatnot, I should be able to make $10 easily, because these seem to sell through pretty quick. So I picked that up. Okay, then this is interesting. I have two paperweights over here and I don't have them on my list. Oh, I must have picked them up a different time. I can show them to you. I just can't tell you any. You know what? I'm going to save those for next week, because I think one of them glows and I do want to talk about that. Okay, so let's go to the antique mall. Good stuff, really good stuff. This is the same place that I got the Murano paperweight last time, and a couple perfume bottles and whatnot. This time I went in with the sole purpose of looking for Fenton. I found a lot of Fenton, and most, if not all of it, was right at retail. So I only bought one Fenton piece, and I probably overpaid for it, but I wanted to have one that was different from my other Fenton pieces, because I've got a Fenton show coming up on the 25th of August, and I've got that dog and cat show coming up on the 13th of August, 18th of August, 18th? It's the week before, the Saturday, I think it's the 18th. Okay, so for my dog and cat show, we'll just show this really quick. I found this. It's a Japanese planter. It says it's stamped Japan on the bottom. This little cute dog looking back at his butt, which can have like a succulent or something. So he's basically just looking back at his tail. He is the cutest thing. He will definitely sell. And I paid $4 for him. He'll probably sell 10 to 18, 14 to 18, unless there's a massive bidding war because he's so darn cute. No chips, no cracks, just a super cute little pup for $4. And I got him for my cat and dog sale. Okay, so the Fenton piece, I'll show you that next. I got the large Melon vase, and this is the large one. They make smaller ones as well. This is like as big as my head. It's big. So I paid $30 for this. The solds that I'm seeing are 44 to 48 on it. So I should make a little money on it. Maybe, we'll see. But I wanted to have something different than with the other Fenton that I have so far for the Fenton sale. So yeah, that's, I got this guy. And then, all right, I'm going to show you one more glass piece, and then I'm going to show you my two favorite glass pieces. So this piece I picked up because of the price. Let's see if we can get rid of the reflection on here. It's a giant glass egg paperweight. So we're going to do a paperweight sale probably in November, I think, on Niknax. If we don't, then I will do one, but I'm pretty sure they're putting one together for November. So this piece is a spiral glass paperweight egg. It's super heavy. What I found with this, there's listeds and solds all over the place, but I found some people that do awards, like promotional award companies, like trophy companies, that had this piece that they were engraving on, and they were selling them for $108. Okay. I cannot find who made it. It's got a beautiful polished bottom. I don't know who specifically is making this piece, but it seems to be a production piece because there's similars, but not exact. The bits in the middle are all a little bit different, but someone is producing these for these trophy companies to embellish. The solds on these, as is with no embellishment, range from 30 something, let me see what I found here, 36 to 99. Actually, I'm sorry, those are listeds. I couldn't find any solds. So, yeah, I paid $10 for it because I think it's really cool. I think in a paperweight sale, I should at least get 18, possibly 24, and maybe more if there's a bidding war. It could go as high as, I don't know, 70 or 80. It's a beautiful piece. It just depends if it's something that someone would like to have as their own. So I got that. All right, now, I'm going to tell you some stories. So there was a piece, there was a lady there moving her booth. She used to have like a case, and then she was moving to a like an open booth, and was pulling some things out and putting them in and whatnot. And we were talking about Fenton, and I pointed to a bowl that was there that was clearly not Fenton, and I said, "Oh, what's that?" And she said, "It's an Italian bowl. I'm surprised nobody bought it. and it was listed at $20. I'm like, cool. And I'm thinking in my head, I got to go back and look at this, because she was like right in front of it. And, you know, she was busy doing her thing. So I, you know, made the little mental note in my head. I would go back and look at it. And I said, oh, it's really beautiful. And she said, you know, yes, I've had it for a while and no one's bought it. I've had it in my booth for a while and nobody's bought it. So I'm really surprised. It really is beautiful. It's Italian. I said, okay, cool. So I walked around, did the rest of my shopping, and then after she had left, I went back to check out the bowl a little closer and turn it upside down and see who made it and all the things. So she had marked it down to 15. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show you the bowl. Now, there aren't any solds, I will say that, but there are a bunch of listeds. Crazy prices, different sizes, which is the other interesting thing. So this is like a harlequin bowl. It is made by a woman named Burit Johansson from Sweden for Salviati. She did partnerships with Salviati in Murano. So it is a Murano piece, and it actually says on the bottom, Salviati, B. Johansson, and then it has, do I have my, I do not have it. I think it has a date. Most of the other ones, oh, here it goes. No, it's not a date. It just says number 195. So a lot of the others where people are listing them, they're saying that it's 1999. I don't know specifically when it was made, probably in the 90s. She passed in 2021. She was born in 1945 in Sweden. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to show you her. So this is Burit Johansson. She was married to Jan Johansson, who was also a glass person. So it says she was a glass artist and designer, educated at, I can't pronounce it, somewhere in Stockholm. She's also studied in England, Italy, and the US. She worked for Orifore's Glasswork from 69 to 83. She collaborated with it's Sjohyttan, Sjohyttan. So anyway, she collaborated with some people in some places, because a lot of these things are really hard to pronounce. And with Mickey Johansson at Puchberg's Glassworks in Nybro. She worked with the master glass blower at Malares Glassworks, etc., etc. In 1985, she and her husband started the company Art Design AB. For more than 20 years, she worked at the prominent glass houses in Murano with master glass blower Silviano Signoretto, with Vanini, Vetreria Signoretto. Oh man, I'm butchering this. And then it mentions Salviati, and it mentions a few others, basically in Murano. So this piece was made when she was working with Salviati in Murano. And it says here her work is represented at, among others, the Corning Museum of Glass in New York, the Rohaska Museum in Gothenburg, and then a whole bunch of Swiss museums that I cannot pronounce, the Swedish Embassy in New Delhi, India, and Pali CVM Palace in San Marco, Venice. It also said her work has been offered at auction multiple times, with realized prices ranging from $29 to $685 US. So the bowl that is 6 inches, mine is like 9, I think. Yeah, it's a little over 9. The bowl that was 6 inches right now is listed on eBay for $235. The bowl that is on eBay that is the bigger one, it's like 11 or 12 inches. That one's listed on eBay for $1,100. So I'm not sure. This is likely worth at least a couple $100. The only thing that's different or weird about it, there seems to be a little manufacturing defect in that where the 4 points come together, there's a little, like it's inside the glass. It looks like a hole, but it's not a hole. And then there's like a little dark spot, but it's inside the glass. It's not anything on the top or the bottom. So anyway, super cool piece, Italian, Murano, I got it for $15. Will someone else want it? I don't know. But I will likely, I'm either going to list that on eBay, or I'm going to try to get into one of the glass shows or do my own glass show on Niknax. I haven't decided yet. But I know some people that would love that piece. So anyway, there's that one. And then I found a piece of Chalet. Now, Chalet glass, I may have mentioned before, there were some people from Murano that moved to Canada and opened furnaces there. There was Chalet and there was Lorraine glass, and they were Murano artisans. So the work of the artisans of the Chalet and the Lorraine are just as nice as Murano glass. They're absolutely beautiful. So this is a Chalet piece signed. So it actually is stamped. Some of the stamp is wearing off. Let's see if y'all can see it. Right in there, it says Chalet. Now I do have another Chalet piece, so I know what the signature looks like. So you know, the bottom of the C and the H are basically cut off, but you can see the LET in the top of the C. So I knew this was a Chalet piece. I asked about it in the Chalet group on Facebook, and they said it was a production form, so it's not like a one-off. It's not completely rare, because I'd never seen this with the twisted ends like this before. You know, I've seen the baskets, I've seen the ones that have the things that pull off and swirl and all the things, but I'd never seen twisted ends before. I paid $20 for this. So what I was told is it was manufactured somewhere between 1964 and 1974. That's when this piece, this design was produced. I don't know how common it was. I mean, they told me it wasn't one of their most common forms, but it was still a production piece. So in other words, more than one was made, which means it's not super rare. Really hard to figure out a value on this because I can't find anything that looks like this on eBay or WorthPoint, you know, specifically this design of Chalet. So yeah, 35, 60, somewhere in there maybe. I paid 20. I would hope to get at least 40 to 45. I will probably list 60-ish if I list it on eBay. I'm not really sure yet. Again, with the glass, I'm not really sure where the higher end glass is going to go. But anyway, super excited to find this one. Just sitting there for $20. So yeah, and then the last piece that I got was actually at a different Savers. My mom wanted to go to a garden place, a nursery, about 45 minutes to an hour from her house. So we went up to Massachusetts, went there, she got what she needed, and then we hit a Savers on the way home, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we hit it on the way home. So this piece was sitting there with the vases. I knew it was something special. It's got the controlled bubbles at the bottom. It's got the beautiful polished bottom. This turns out to be from a manufacturer called Bormioli, which is Italian. So this is an Italian glass. Let me just see. I've got it written down somewhere, probably upstairs on my printer. So it is a glass, it's Bormioli Rocco, and I think they were recently acquired by something else Bormioli, but this is a Bormioli Rocco piece. It's just beautiful Italian glass. Not worth a fortune, but worth more than what I paid for it. So I paid $4.49 for it. In 2018, one that was flared the other way, so very similar size and similar bottom, but instead of coming in at the top, went out at the top. That one sold for $66, but that was 2018. More recently, there's a couple of these listed, and then there's lots of them that have sold that are a slightly different shape, like a skinnier vase. So they're only like in the 18 to 24 range right now. I would probably list this a little bit higher and take an offer. Or if I want to make it go really quick, you know, I mean, I paid $4.49 for it. So as long as it's, you know, 18 or up, I'd be pretty happy on that, just making $10 or so. But anyway, I love the bottom of this. Look at those bubbles. It's just a really pretty vase. So there was my haul for this week, minus the 2 paperweights that aren't on my list, so I must have gotten them after that. So anyway, my total spend on this little collection that I shared today was $110.22. I think conservatively the value is around $635. So it's right around between 5.75 to 6 times the amount. Definitely will make money on all the things. So I was pretty excited. It's a little haul, but I loved my trip to the antique mall, and that first trip to Savers was actually, both trips to Savers were amazing. So yeah, that was haul number 38. So let's see, we did how much everything sold for at the beginning. Yeah, I think I did the totals, and I kept it to 30 minutes. And I think the only other thing to mention, which I also already mentioned, is my live sales that I have coming up. The Cat and Dog Show is at 3 o'clock p.m., I think on the 18th of August. And the Fenton Frenzy, I think my show is 8 p.m. on the 25th of August. And I'm still hoping to do a studio pottery show, because behind me on the floor here, I have so much studio pottery. So I need to get some shows listed, see how things go. It's just a lot. There's a lot. So anyway, thank you guys. Thanks so much for joining. I think I'm going to try to do some shorts as well on YouTube soon. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Join us over on Niknax. You can follow me there to get notified when I'm going live, and you can see my upcoming live shows. My Facebook is at Liz Art Finds or /Liz Art Finds or something like that, where I just kind of highlight some of the things I have listed in various places, talk about my solds. Eventually there will be more there, but right now that's what's there. And then eBay, starting this month through the end of the year, the eBay store should start to, I should start to get more stuff listed there for the holidays. So yeah, that's all the things. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I will see you next week with another haul. Bye.